rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the village board meeting of November 8th. Roll call. Caprows.
Here.
Possession.
Here.
Giannotti.
Here.
Terry.
Here.
Stacy.
Here.
Kraus.
Here.
You have last month's minutes in your packet. Are there any changes? If not, would someone make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Roll call. Caprows.
Yes.
Possession.
Yes.
Giannotti.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Stacy.
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Does anyone in the audience wish to address the board? All right, village clerk's report.
Total tax income received in the month of October was $474,840.97. That's all I have.
Okay. Reports of village commissions, beautification, Superintendent Connor.
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay. 4th of July Commission, Trustee Kraus.
Thank you. So, 4th of July Commission just met, and their final numbers, this is final, right? There's no outstanding bills?
There could be a couple.
There's
little
minor
bits.
ones.
It's never
So-
final.
Anyways, their net for the festival in the fall, $43,719.40. Said minus a couple outstanding bills, but they're small, correct? There's nothing large out. They did do their draft budget for 2022, 4th of July. It is going to be on the 4th again. And it should be the 1st through the 4th, which is Friday through Monday. Do the trustees get a copy of that? The proposed budget, do they?
No, but I think there's one sitting on the table there yet.
Well, I mean, if anyone's interested, I'd look at it. There are, if the budget is increased, I mean, going back to the 4th, stuff does get more expensive, bands and things like that. It's obviously more popular. The car is another one they're bringing back for next year. And then I think that's it.
Don't we put the budget in the packet for December?
I mean, if trustees want to, I mean, if they're interested in it.
Yeah, it's sitting right there on the table.
And that's all I have. If there's anything.
Youth Commission, Trustee Session.
All right, the BYC attended the St. Paul's Trunk or Treat on October 30th, handing out some goodies and trinkets. Outside of that, the standard meeting schedule is being updated at 7:30 p.m. on the third Tuesday of the month here at the Village Hall for the foreseeable future. And that is all.
Historic Preservation Commission, Trustee DeForest.
So at the last meeting, there's been some work done down there. All the penetrations, which used to have caulk in them, where they think there was some leaking into the basement, all the caulk's been cut out, removed. It's all been filled with hydraulic cement, drains are clean, so it's moving in a positive direction. Thanks to Public Works for that. And at the next meeting in December, we'll probably be looking to get a cleanup day set up for that, probably over the winter, hopefully like January or February.
Cool.
So that's all we got.
Alrighty. Under my report, we're going to have a committee of the whole meeting under Finance and Administration scheduled for Monday, November 22nd at 6 o'clock. There's no packet, but we'll get an email reminder. And we're going to finish our work on the strategic plan, so if all trustees will attend, please. The next regular village board meeting was rescheduled to 7 p.m. Monday, November 29th. And after that meeting, we'll have one more, December 13th for the calendar year. And not on the agenda, I was contacted by PAKT. 3 of their members medaled in the World Karate Championships, some of them more than once. So they're going to do a parade Thursday at 6 o'clock that will kick off from the community hall, and then after the parade, they're going to come back and have a little celebration there. So we're going to, I'm going to present some certificates to them. So congratulations to those kids. Oh, and then we got an update to the Eastern Will County Freight Mobility Corridor Study. And we can talk about that in strategic planning, but they've come up with mainly 2 potential east-west routes to try to connect 394 and 57. So one is along, they both have challenges. One is along Monee Road, the other one is along Goodnow Road. So that's something we can look at when we do strategic planning, but you've all got a copy of that. I will go on to committee reports. Finance and Administration Committee, Trustee Kaporis.
Consider a motion approving the treasurer's report. Donna?
The October month-end total for the village accounts, $3,456,450.12. The October month-end for the commission accounts, $222,446.52. Total of both combined, $3,678,896.64. The October month-end in general, $1,271,704.89. And the October total of the commission non-AP payments, $249,961.79. As usual, nothing really out of the ordinary in there. If anybody has any questions, and if not, yes?
The loan for the splash pad is in this general fund amount, correct?
That is correct, that was deposited
Okay, so
in
we-
general.
So even if we took the 254 out of there, we still would have been over $1 million in general.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah. If there's no other questions, that ends my report.
Alright, I'll go ahead and make a motion approving the treasurer's report.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Kraus,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Giannotti,
Yes.
Possession,
Yes.
Capros.
Yes. Variance reports are enclosed for your review, and consider a motion approving the bills and payroll for the previous month. Everybody was emailed a copy of the bills. Some new additions that have come in since you were emailed them. Attorney fees, $2,036.25. As of our audit solutions, the monthly reimbursement, $39.15. Becker's Automotive, $372.37. Constellation Energy, Fireman's Park, $238.38. IDOT, quarterly cost of traffic signals, $683.25. Illinois State Police Bureau of ID fingerprinting, $28.25. Minor electronics, $709. One more. The vedette, notice for the PCC hearing, $60. Anybody have any questions on the bills? If not, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the bills in the total amount of $211,303.56.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second? There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call.
Capros,
Yes.
Possession,
Yes.
Giannotti,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
And that's it.
That'll conclude my report.
Public Buildings and Properties, Parks and Recreation Committee, Trustee Terry.
I have nothing to report this evening.
Planning, Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Stacy.
Yes, Mayor. Planning and Zoning Commission will be meeting on Thursday, November 18th at 7 p.m. Hearing will be held on request for a variance in the front yard at 250 Maple. The village board will consider the request on the November 29th meeting. And the building department monthly report is enclosed for your review, and that's all I have.
Public Safety Committee, Trustee Kraus.
Thank you. Consider a 3-year contract with a 2-year extension option for the use of license plate readers. The village from Flock Safety Incorporated, an amount of $27,500 per year with a one-time $2,500 installation fee. Public Safety and Finance Chair met to discuss how to pay for this contract last Tuesday, and this will be explained at the meeting. Another contract option may be available, actually it was, Bob, right?
2 and 3.
Okay.
Yep, they'll be.
And we'll discuss that. Attorney has reviewed the enclosed contract, finds it acceptable. Once approved, it will take several months to put the cameras in place. It is recommended the enclosed contract be approved. So I asked if we could do instead of 3-2, a 2-3 for the same price, correct? lock system said yes. I would suggest that, just in case we don't like it, it's not locking us into a third year at $27,500. It cost us nothing extra. But obviously, that's a decision for the board. The $2,500 installation fee, again, that's just one time, is $250 per camera. We're looking at 10 cameras throughout the town. And when we met, we identified this will come from the police budget and different savings that are, what's the term, real savings, John?
Yeah,
Actual savings?
actual savings.
Yeah, actual savings in the police department budget, so to be paid out of the police department budget this year.
So you prefer the 2-year contract with a 3-year extension?
Yes, it doesn't cost us anything, and it gives us an out 1 year early. If we don't like them, I don't think we should be locked in that third year at almost $30 grand. And it costs us nothing extra, so.
Can they raise the price at the end of the 2?
No,
No,
no.
you said your
That's
exact
for
same
5.
price. That's,
After 5, it could be different.
yeah,
Both ways, both ways our prices are locked for a total of 5 years. It's just how many you're initially locked into. It's 3 versus 2, so I would.
and I don't
concur.
anticipate any issues with it. It's, I don't know, just sort of a minor thing. I just think it's a little better deal for us. If we don't like it, and then it costs us an extra $27,500 to keep it for that third year. And it costs us no extra money to life the contract, so. Anybody have any questions about this? So I'll make a motion for a 2-year contract with a 3-year extension option for the use of license plate readers in the village from flock safety, the amount of $27,500 per year with a one-time installment fee of $2,500.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
There's a motion and a second, discussion? Roll
Just-
call?
Just a thing, the financing came out of the police department, mostly full-time personnel that were funded positions that we didn't fill right away, and benefit savings.
Mhm.
That's where the money's coming from.
Roll call?
Kraus,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Giannotti,
Yes.
Possession,
Yes.
Caprows.
Yes.
And then full-time officer status, we have an officer retiring from the department effective December 6th. Chief, you wanna give an update?
President Meyer and members of the village board, good evening. Detective Andy Leroy is retiring. He's only got 1 more day with us. He's been here, after he announced his retirement, he's only here 4 days. So we have a party for him on the 19th right here at Village Hall from 4 to 6 p.m. We're gonna have pizza and soda. If you can come by, that'd be great. Andy will be replaced with Tom Beck. Tom Beck is the only officer we have with investigative experience, so he'll be taking his place.
Okay.
And we'll get the word out on the open house, correct?
And then part-time officer status, we're just waiting to complete one background on the officer.
We hired Rick Reamer.
Yes.
He's already hired. We have another part-time officer that needs to go to the academy in March, and I called him just recently, and he said he will still be available because that's the only academy class we have, and it's a long time between now and March, and he said he will still stay with us. And then the third one, we're just completing his background right now.
And then corporal promotion test, we are conducting the oral exams this week. And then, it's a holiday Thursday and I'm out of town the rest of the week, so hopefully next week, at the latest, the commission will get a list of the chief and we'll have something for the 29th of November. Then the police department and EMA and code enforcement monthly report is enclosed. Consider a motion authorizing the ordering of a 2022 Ford Utility Police Interceptor all-wheel drive through the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative at a price not to exceed $39,000 for delivery in the summer of '22. Unfortunately, it's taking 8 to 10 months for delivery, so we would not take possession or pay for this vehicle until next fiscal year. But we have to order it now to have it for next fiscal year. The chief is recommending we make the order now. Administrator concurs. And I do also. So I'd like to make a motion authorizing the ordering of a 2022 Ford Utility Police Interceptor all-wheel drive through the Suburban Purchasing Cooperative at a price not to exceed $39,000.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
A second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion? No discussion? Roll call?
Caprows,
Yes.
Possession,
Yes.
Janetti,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Public Works Committee, Trustee Giannotti.
Gould Street water main, replacement update.
Still not got an update there, it's still in their 30-day window for review.
Okay. Leaf collection update, Superintendent Connor.
We've picked up approximately 5 loads of leaves, and we thought it'd be heavy after the nice weekend, but it still isn't very heavy. So eventually they'll all come down, and we'll be extremely busy for a few weeks. So
You made me pick up leaves till Christmas.
we'll see.
Man.
At some point, we got to cut it off and get our trucks ready for snowplow operations. So we'll see what happens in the
I've
coming
never
weeks,
seen a
but-
leaf fall like this.
yeah.
So, and the water department monthly report is included for your review. And that concludes my report.
Economic Development Community Relations Committee, Trustee Session.
Thank you. So consider a motion authorizing the reimbursement of $1,480 to our advertisers for the limited fall edition of the village newsletter. This is due to the township not having a newsletter this fall, as we discussed previously. We are now going to get to our own advertising, and we'll be setting new rates moving forward. So I will make a motion authorizing the reimbursement of the $1,480 to our advertisers for the limited fall edition of the village newsletter.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion?
Yeah. You were getting away without that. I have spoken with one of the trustees on the township board. So I talked to, our clerk, I talked to Jeanette about it today. They say they're still interested, so the only thing I ask is just that we reach back out to the township and that, and kind of see where they're standing, just give them like a one last chance before we do go ahead. As I stated, I mean, if that's what we gotta do, I know that the board is definitely interested in still just doing it on our own, if that's what we gotta do, but obviously, I mean, if they are still interested in continuing their partnership, then, you know, I'd be in favor for it, but I would ask that, Mayor, you and Jeanette kinda handle it and stress to them that how disappointed the board is that they didn't come up with their newsletter and that we had to go through this, and the inconvenience of our staff of having to figure out everybody's reductions and cutting all these extra checks back to the advertisers because they didn't live up to their end of the bargain. They didn't fulfill their end of the commitment, so, which created a lot of work for us and our staff. So if they are true about continuing it, that's great, but there needs to be a solid commitment that they live up to their end of it also.
So is something gonna change between now and then? I mean, the board's gonna stay the same, isn't it? Or is it just sort of like fall through?
Yeah, they just, I don't know, I mean, Jeanette handled it, I mean, from what we were told is they weren't doing one in the fall, so.
They said that it was just a one-time thing, they, they didn't have any content to put in the fall, but they wanted to continue.
Okay.
And what we're saying is, does the village board want to extend the olive branch and continue that program? What I'm hearing is yes.
Yeah, I think John said it, but I mean, I agree with what you said.
Yeah, but there's gotta be that, I mean,
Right, you can't
This
do it
is-
every year.
We're not gonna go through this every fall, cause they're, whatever season they decide they don't feel like putting
Yeah.
something in, cause they don't have anything. I mean, it's-
2 a year, they gotta do it.
I mean, it's-
Well, one of the things is too, is we do all the work for it, we sell all the ads,
Yeah.
we send them to them, and they still get 40% of those ad costs, and they don't really do anything for that amount, so.
Well, maybe it's time to
We just-
negotiate what percentage they get
Yeah.
of that, you know, for it.
Just
I mean,
set it-
cause it is a big inconvenience, it's, you know, I mean, I've gone through it with, you know, I mean, I do know what they're going through with the people sending over pictures and not sending it in the right format, that, you know, and reformatting what they're wanting to be put in here to work into the JPEG format and everything else. It's gotta be can only imagine the amount of hassle and headache it is for us to put it together and get it all ready, and then it just gets handed off to them, because ours goes first and it's all ready, so.
I think the percentage should go along with the amount of work we do then. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty simple. I mean, if we're putting the inconvenience and work on our staff, why are they getting close to half of
Yeah.
the profits?
Let the mayor handle that one.
We'll
Go
discuss
get
it.
him, Mayor. Need soldiers, let me know.
Okay, roll call?
Kraus,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Giannotti,
Yes.
Possession,
Yes.
Caprows.
Yes.
All right, consider a resolution endorsing the 2021 Climate Action Plan for the Chicago region. We have taken the first step by committing to renewable energy for our residents, but there is much more that can be done in the future to reduce the village's carbon footprint. Another example is promoting the use of electric vehicles, which we do by allowing golf carts on our streets. The resolution is generic, but does set some goals, such as 50% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2030, 2005 levels. This resolution can be passed or tabled for discussion if board members need more time to review the documents. So,
It is a bold initiative. I support it, but I have to give you the caveat that maybe 10, 15 years down the road, a future village board may have to make a decision that costs us money because we adopted this resolution tonight. And that's the only risk that you're taking by doing this, because someone might come back and throw it on the table and say, you passed this 10 years ago, now you need to comply. So that's the only risk we're taking. But at the same time, I think globally we're heading in this direction regardless.
Well, what do you mean in 10 years from now?
Well,
So is there basically mandates, I'll say that, in here?
No, it
But
doesn't
then
appear to
how
be
can they come back in
mandates.
10 years and say,
The way I understand it, and I think it's a positive thing, is it's goals. I mean, there's
Their goals
no
are
repercussions if the goals aren't met, but they're goals to, achieving a greener way of doing business. I mean, that's just it. I mean, it's everything I've read on it, it's strategies, it's goals, but there's no repercussions of anything if things aren't met.
There's no hard deadlines or anything on
No.
it?
We've done quite a bit of it. We've already done all the LED lighting, at buildings. We have the aggregation of our residents with renewable energy. We allow electric vehicles on our streets. You can have a battery operated golf cart and get a registration from the police and drive around when the weather's nice, so we're making strides, but eventually we're gonna have to look at electric charging stations for electric vehicles. That's gonna be coming up probably in the 10-year window. 10 years from now, that's gonna be a big issue.
yeah.
How are these people gonna charge their electric vehicle?
I think you're gonna face that everywhere, not just Beecher.
Correct.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But as I said, I mean, in the resolution, you can see where it is. I mean, there are objectives, there's goals, there's targets, and that's it. I mean, there's no repercussions, there's no mandates, there's no anything to it, so. To me, it kinda seems like a feel-good opportunity.
oh yeah, you don't mean I'm all about field.
So, I support it, so I guess, I'll ask for, is a resolution number?
2021-13.
All right, so let's consider resolution 2021-13, endorsing the 2021 Climate Action Plan for the Chicago region.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, discussion, roll call?
Caprows,
Yes.
Possession,
Yes.
Giannotti,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Kraus.
Yes.
Will that be all?
Yes, that is all, thank you.
Any old business to come before the board? Any new business to come before the board?
I had something there, since it was, not since, it's gonna bring it up anyways, but as was mentioned in the public safety report that we have a full-time officer leaving, and the only officer right now that's qualified to fill that spot is currently the SRO at the school. The school board tonight is voting on whether to retain that IGA between us and them for the SRO program. I sent a letter to the board president and the chairman of the personnel, asking them to either table it or vote against terminating the contract.
It has been tabled.
It has been tabled?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just wanna let the board know, because their board is aware of it, that that was going on. I just wanted an opportunity to sit down with them to see, you know, why they wanted that. Actually, I'll just leave it at that. Like I said, if it was tabled, that's good. It'll give us an opportunity to meet with them, and we'll go from there.
Any other new business?
You wanna take it or you want me to?
Go ahead, you can take it.
Alright.
You did all the legwork.
So, in talk with, the email that we received from, the pastor of St. Paul Church about bringing back, some Christmas festivities to the town. I think everybody's aware there used to be, there was the parade of lights, and at the end of the parade, everybody would go to the park, and Santa Claus would be there, and the school band would play. The church is interested in doing caroling, as everybody got the email. I think most responded yes, that would be interested in doing something. One of the things they brought up was tree lighting. So I did some homework and looked into some pricing for artificial commercial Christmas trees. There's three, I got pricing on 3 different sizes. One is a 16-footer, one is an 18-footer, and one is a 20-footer.
Go big or go home.
The key thing is that these can be added onto. So it's a base that's a metal structure ring that gets bolted together. It kind of comes in 2 half circles that get bolted together, and then the rings stack on top for the frame of this tree. So you can always,
So we can add.
you can add rings
add
because
girth-
they just,
girth and height later on?
yes, they go to the bottom, and so if you start with an 18, you can always go to a 20 the following year, or you can just go 20 this year, or you can go 16 this year, or whatever. But the prices were, a 16-footer is $64.37. An 18-footer would be $85.50 approximately, and a 20-footer would be $10,250.
Are those pre-lit?
No,
They're not.
they had pre-lit options, which was also like a couple grand more each. And I did ask Matt, I reached out to him before I got the pricing as to like what to request. And we both kind of felt that, how these things go together, and then it's a metal frame, that goes up, that gets stacked. And then there's spots where these branches hook in, and it's just like any other artificial tree, you spread them out and stuff. And all the branches would be individually pre-lit, but if you get one that goes out in 3-4 years, you know, are you able to match it again and this and that, where we just kind of thought probably be easier for us to just do our own lighting and then be able to kind of control it that way. And I think Matt felt it might be a little easier as far as storing it every year and not breaking balls and stuff like that.
Now, is the tree in sections, or each branch has to go into a?
No, each branch goes into a thing. I sent Matt, there's like a YouTube video as to how these things are assembled, but yeah, around each base there's, pipes and just hooks in, and the branch hangs down.
We got a 20-footer in church, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it was actually pretty neat, and I mean, just kind of the thought on it, I mean, everybody's definitely interested in it. We've talked about it before, about trying to bring back those Christmas festivities. It was always kind of ran by the chamber, right? And the chamber hasn't done anything, so that doesn't mean the village can't. So, right, I mean, it was kind of like what we did with the National Night Out. I mean, we got a pretty aggressive board that's willing to step up and do things, and a mayor that's definitely encouraging it, so. I think it's our chance to bring it back to town. I know we hear about it every year, people wish we had some of the activities back, bring the tree lighting back. The high school band inquired to the village, definitely interested. We got churches willing to bring choirs out, so.
This is to go in the park, correct?
Yeah, I mean, wherever the
That's up
board
for
would want it,
discussion,
yeah.
Where would you put the tree, I guess?
Yeah, that's up for discussion.
Yeah.
Because if you get a 20-footer, you can't really put it on the stage up there.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean-
if we're gonna do it in the park, I think couple days ago, you sent out an email about cameras in the park. If we're gonna put some in the park like that, I mean, our camera system's woefully outdated. I mean, you might as well have a spotter out there compared to what we have, so if we're gonna do something like that, I would suggest we update our camera system, protect that. I mean, that's a significant investment.
There's funds for cameras, so it can be done. I mean, there's other options, right? I mean, there's a couple options I thought of was, we own the empty lot next to the post office. You could do it there, have the tree lighting and still have the festivities in the park with the hot chocolate and the vendor building and the band on the stage and caroling and stuff like that, and hopefully maybe Santa Claus could come. I thought maybe the mayor could read our resolution authorizing Santa flight rights in town like we did last year, and stuff like that. But, I mean, you could do it there, right next to the post office. You could do it in the fishbowl, next to the community building. I mean, there's other locations. It doesn't have to be in the middle of the park. I mean, I think either one of those two would be a little safer, but that got a little Christmas spirit in it. Hopefully people won't mess with this. Let's have a little faith.
I kinda like the one next to the post office, cause it's out there and right out in the open,
Yeah,
where
you
it's
see it
not,
out-
And
see
you
it
know,
on
not
the
hidden
street.
away and.
Just so you know, it's only there for 1 year, cause then it becomes a parking lot.
Well,
Yeah.
that's fine, but, you know,
You can get residents right next door there too.
You got, if you get the 20-footer, we could use the bucket truck to decorate it, cause you're.
that was what I asked, would,
Yeah.
would a bucket truck get up there?
Oh, yeah, we used to do the one on the highway here, the big one, remember?
I call dibs on the star then.
It's gonna
And you
take
have
a lot
somewhere
of
to
lights.
store it, Matt?
The hut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said that it can go with them,
It-
or
it-
when we put
Or
that away.
if you wanna do it right,
For the
you need
winter.
a lot of lights.
Yeah.
20-footer, you need a lot of lights, so make sure you have power. That might be a problem, it won't be a
Yeah.
problem in the park.
No, the park, we got plenty of power for that.
Yeah,
We got
that lot.
covered that, but if you put it at the post office lot, you're gonna need quite a bit of power for the lights.
Yeah, we gotta figure out somewhere to get power from. It probably wouldn't take that much power for the LEDs, but it'd
You
be
get
a
LEDs,
matter of
you
getting the source of power.
I mean, it'd
Right,
obviously
post
be
office.
safer out there and it'd be right on Penfield, but,
It would, but
No,
then you
it's
gotta
not like
figure
the-
out something for the following year.
well, it's not sort of like
Yeah.
going to the park to see, I mean. it's
Out
not
in
like they
front of
did
the,
it in there.
we could put it out in front of the stage at the park, kinda center it there, cause then it still hits the existing cameras that are there if we don't have a chance to
Those
update them.
cameras are
Well,
15
I-
years old and you can't really even identify
Yeah.
a person on them.
I
The
know.
ones in the back,
Yeah.
those are better quality, we have 8 there.
Yeah.
Those in the back are very good quality. The ones up front are, can't even identify a person by looking at it.
Do any of those newer ones face towards the front of the stage?
Yes.
Okay.
Are your performances gonna be on the stage, or choirs and bands? Cause then you don't want the tree right in front of the stage.
Well, yeah, but you could move it towards the walking
Well,
path.
I mean, I think we agree we want the tree.
Yeah,
Just
we want
worry
the
about-
tree.
Okay, so what size?
20.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious. Let's do it, if we're gonna do it, let's do it right.
I mean, what's the
let's
point?
keep the
Here's
residents-
the thing, it's only gonna cost us more as the years go on to get those extra rings.
Extra
And
rings, yeah.
do you know what it would cost to buy, if we, say we did buy the 16, and then next year we decided we wanna get the extra 4 feet.
Just
you know
looking
how-
at the price adjustments, they seem to go up about $2,000 every 2 feet, so
So
just
it's-
guessing, no,
yeah.
cause I don't know.
With the mountain,
Okay.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know
But-
what all the other lights, ornaments, all that stuff would?
No, that's the other thing, you're gonna need
Well,
some money for that.
Yeah, like, I don't think you need to do ornaments, I think if you just get a tree
Just
and
do
light
lights.
it up with,
Okay.
Yeah.
As the
You
years
know,
progress.
Chevy Chase
they add
style.
more. I mean, if you did lights this year, the following year, you could get like bows and stuff, and then slowly progress.
I'll give Matt a Blackhawks jersey with Griswold on the back or something, when he's lighting it up.
Unique service kits to string together some popcorn or something.
So, obviously, this is unbudgeted expenditure, so this is where the financier of me comes in.
You're telling me
Christmas
I-
spirit end of it. I'm confident with our underestimate of revenues and where our revenues are projecting, that we didn't even get into, and ours, we didn't need to. We can cover this easily.
If you're gonna do it, this is the year to do it.
This is the year to do it, I mean, with the way we did our budget this year and that, and held back with everything in COVID and just the way things are panning out, sales taxes running really high, amongst other things, so we're definitely in a positive direction.
How much was a 20-footer?
Huh?
How much was a 20-footer?
10,250. So the other thing is, I did reach out to the company, spoke to a lady there today. from the date of order, everything comes on freight on a semi and pallets and stuff like that. Right now, it's about, she would guess about 2 to 3 days lead time, and it'd be heading out of their warehouse in Texas. So we could probably have this, and I said, so we could realistically have this before Thanksgiving? She laughed, she said, absolutely. Not
Do you
even
have
an issue.
a date in mind that we do?
I mean, yeah, I guess kinda got it, because we don't have many more meeting dates, right? So, I mean, you kinda gotta plow through this tonight, kinda figure a date, or.
Well, we were looking over what, because Crete does theirs in December, we were thinking that weekend after,
You
Thanksgiving.
could do it the 27th of November. There's another window, the week after Creek Christmas, which is getting toward the middle of December, but the mayor thought that'd be too late for a tree lighting.
Yeah, you hate to put it up that late, it really should be earlier
The
rather than
11th.
later. Huh?
When's Creed's, the 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking if we did it that weekend right after Thanksgiving, that Saturday or
Yeah, what night of
Sunday,
the week
Thanksgiving,
would you wanna do it? Friday night, Saturday night, Saturday night?
probably Saturday.
Saturday.
We talked, we could do a bonfire, over in the beer garden stone area. That was always popular, people liked the bonfire.
If we can get Santa there,
Santa, I
think
can't
that-
speak for Santa, but Santa might be available.
yeah. And I know the youth commission somewhere has an enormous box that was painted up real nice and that for kids to, it's a letters to Santa mailbox.
I think it's,
That could be placed
it's still
there.
upstairs in the junior high, and,
Huh?
I think it's in the junior high upstairs,
Mm,
if I remember, or it used to be, I don't know if it's still there.
Last
Or is
time-
it, man,
I don't-
Last time I was up in that, I don't think it's up in the mezzanine at the junior high.
But you
I
can
didn't
have,
think they had much left in the junior high.
No,
So
yeah,
I
it's
could
probably
bring
in
that
there,
over.
they got a storage.
I was just saying, I know they
store.
I forgot they moved it, we
it's
moved it.
probably over there.
Yeah, but I do know they have that, you could have that.
December 4th,
The band is definitely on board, whatever.
High school?
High school band is definitely 100% on board.
Do we need to check like the churches and the band and stuff, make sure they don't have any?
We could do that, yeah, I mean, we can tentatively set a date of November, what date is that, Mayor?
27th, that's Saturday, is that what you said?
Yeah, you got 2 weeks.
That's, is
Two
that
or 3
enough?
weeks, we got some.
27th or December 4th, those are the two Saturdays.
Well, December 4th
Is
is Crete Christmas.
Oh, that's it.
Is that, do you know what they're actually doing? They're not having,
For Creed?
are they having their parade this year?
They usually have a parade, yeah.
I don't know.
Someone had mentioned that they weren't having a parade this year. in
Oh.
Creed.
Yeah, they're having a parade.
They are having it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you been asked to help on that already?
They
Do you
want,
know, is it Friday or Saturday night? Cause I know they do
you
like
know what, I got
weekend
it in my
thing.
mailbox at the police station, but they are having a parade, cause we did ask the chief to send a couple EMA cars for the
Okay.
parade.
It was usually Saturday at 6 o'clock,
Yeah,
old days.
Can we do ours Friday the 3rd then, or is that too?
We could. Why don't we tentatively, either one of those days, let me get a hold of Pastor Stein again, cause I haven't gone back to him yet about what the board thinks and see when their choir is available, if they've got prior plans, cause they wanted to reach out to some of the other churches, so
Yeah,
let
do
me know.
something collaboratively, it sounded
Yeah.
like.
So
And I
that-
can reach out to the high school band again for you.
Okay, perfect,
If we can give them a little extra time and do it the 3rd if Creek's not doing theirs.
yeah.
I'll get you or I sent it to the mayor. The quote and that, so they asked for a shipping and billing address, I gave them that stuff.
I know this is not on the agenda, but is there consensus to purchase this tree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you can't vote on it, but there has to be consensus.
Consensus to purchase.
I'll just go ahead and order.
20-footer, order that. And then, is there a consensus amount for, like a not to exceed for
Yeah,
Matt
not to
to
exceed
order
1,200?
lights and stuff like that?
I mean,
We
does
say,
anybody have an
I
idea
think
what
see
the number?
1,200, I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah,
I'd say higher.
Yes, does anybody have an idea what a number is? I mean, I know what I spend on lights and it's, I mean.
Here's the thing, if you go with incandescent, they're cheap, but they take a lot more power. If you go with LEDs, they last longer, they take a lot less power, but they're much more
Well,
expensive.
if we're gonna get a nice tree, I mean,
LED.
I'd rather
Oh, yeah, we
get
gotta
the
go
more
LED.
expensive lights, they're gonna
It's
last
gonna
longer,
cost a
and
little more
cheaper
front
crap
end, yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
Wait, $5,000? Decorations?
Oh, yeah, we can do it for 5. Couldn't we, Matt?
Yeah,
I
I
would
could
think so.
support a not to exceed 5.
A quick note about Santa.
16, 17.
Santa will be doing, that Saturday, Christmas treats for the Lions Club from some point in the morning to some point in the afternoon. So you might wanna coordinate your times with Santa.
And what day is that, George?
That's
That's
it.
Saturday after
The
Thanksgiving.
27th?
Okay. Do you know if Lions Club's doing breakfast with Santa?
Yes,
They are. Do you have a date for that?
12.
The 12th?
I think it's
Festival
okay.
Lights
Is that a
Parade
Sunday,
for
the
Creed is
12th?
4th.
Yes.
Yes.
The Festival Lights Parade for Creed is the 4th.
Correct.
Okay.
So that Friday would be
So it
open.
could be the third
could do it the
or,
3rd.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. I'll reach out to Pastor Stein tomorrow and then we can kind of,
So a consensus of $5,000 for decorations,
Yeah.
not to exceed, good?
Yeah, I mean,
I
if
see.
something comes up, just
Yeah.
let the board know.
Yeah, I think we'll just, I think the mayor will start a change, she's been awesome with communicating to us, like with that, and just run with it, whatever you can figure out, whatever you need from us. I think you got a pretty aggressive board that's all willing to help, so just let us
if
know.
our $5,000
Yeah.
gets us, 3 feet from the top, we may have to go.
You got 6 soldiers ready for you, Mayor, so.
Can you send the info over, John?
Yeah,
For ordering?
yeah,
She
yeah.
may have to order it because our credit limit's $5,000, so you may have to actually order the tree.
Okay. Well, and Jeanette can do it too.
No, I don't
No.
have to be.
No, you know
You
where my
have,
card
you
is
have,
though.
you
Yeah, I
have.
do. I do.
That's what we
You can
have to-
order it with my card, yeah.
Okay, as long as I get
I
that, I'll
can
just,
yeah.
Depending on how they want payment, I assume they want a credit card.
Okay. Any more new business to come before the board? All right, there's no need for executive,
One more thing, you want to bring up, since it came up here, you got proposals just today on the cameras in the park, did you not?
Yes, I do.
You just want to give them the 3 numbers?
Perfect timing.
So to add one camera onto the splash pad is $2,000. To replace 4 and a splash pad is $4,500, I'm sorry, $6,500. And to replace all the cameras, which I don't think we really need, and the splash pad is $9,900.
Okay.
So,
Why would we replace the 4 cameras that we just put up for?
no, we don't, I don't recommend you do that. You recommend the 15-year-old cameras we replace.
Yeah, because those cameras are newer than the building, because we mounted that new system in the
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, the new cameras
Yeah.
work fine, they're
Okay.
totally fine.
So you need a controller,
We need to add a bigger controller in it because the new one wouldn't accommodate the splash pad. And,
It's a
the
new
camera-
antenna also, right?
But the-
There's an antenna on here too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got the whole proposal.
and if we were to order this equipment, would it be up and going by the time the tree goes up? Does he have a timeline?
For the Christmas, you mean for,
Yes, it would be,
yes,
it would be.
I mean, I don't wanna order it.
I heard yes, that's all I need.
I mean, I don't wanna rush an order through and then find out we can't get it up until after the Christmas. tree.
I'll ask tomorrow. Cause I'm sure he'll be able to do it.
So we have a consensus?
so the tree will be fully surveilled.
Yeah,
So
yes, it will.
we say 65?
65,
recommend your
75,
recommendation?
65, 75,
65
50.
for the,
My recommendation would be the middle one.
65, 75, 50.
65, 75, 50.
okay.
Okay.
yeah, you might be looking at that one.
Again, you cannot pass a motion.
that on new business?
Yes.
No, we can't
Yeah,
pass a motion
consensus
by
would be to
consensus.
go with that middle proposal.
To protect the tree and actually to protect the park, we were gonna do this anyway.
Yeah.
I heard Joe say he'll guarantee it'll be up by then, so.
That's right.
Well,
Anytime. That's my,
That's your job.
All right, that's the consensus to order the system. Okay,
Okay,
there you go. The middle one, so
All right.
6,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. Any more new business to come before the board?
I think we've accomplished enough.
Yes, we have. There's no need for executive session, so is there a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
There's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, roll call.
Kraus,
Yes.
Stacy,
Yes.
Gary,
yes.
Giannotti,
Yes.
Possession.
Yes.
Caprows,
Yes.